Right. Anytime. I won't remember. Just ask. All right. It's not a problem. All right. If you leave them talking for an hour, you get off lightly.
Say what?
If you leave them talking for an hour, you get off lightly.
Ah, that's nice. You can play some music, take a long meditation, or
Very long meditation.
very long meditation, theater.
Good afternoon, everybody. Hello. And welcome to the highlight of the weekend, the rally itself. These rallies used to be incredibly popular, going back many, many years. They would fill the Albert Hall. Sorry, am I disturbing your conversation? Oh, good. They would fill the Albert Hall. They would bring people together from up and down the country. They would celebrate the philosophy of spiritualism. And that's something I think we maybe have neglected over the years. What greater joy, what greater truth is there than we don't die? And everything that comes from that. So, to kick off our talks today, and these are all very interactive, remember, no question is daft. Nobody got to where they are today without asking questions. It's as easy as that. So we've got a full afternoon with some very gifted speakers talking about their passions. They said, what do you want me to talk about? I said, talk about your passion. So I had to edit Frederick's quite a lot. I think I got to about number 15 on his list, and I went, oh, that'll do. But it's talking about their passions, and it's sharing that knowledge, it's sharing that information, it's sharing those experiences. So, to start off, we have the wonderful Lola Kiss from Denmark.
Yeah. Hello. Yes, I'm going to talk about my point of view. Do I have any Danes here, except from, so I don't offend anyone? He's already offended. No. So I'm just going to talk a little about my journey into spiritualism and what I see and what I have seen in spiritualism. So I'm going to start with when I was younger, when I was a little girl, I always saw spirit around me. Always. They were always around me. I didn't communicate with them. I just saw them and I just knew they were there, felt them. But I was living with my grandmother and grandfather, old school. So you don't say you see spirits because then there's something wrong, or you just have to keep it calm. Don't say to anybody. So I knew it was my world. I knew it was just my world, and and I could see people around me couldn't see them, or couldn't feel them, or wouldn't talk about it. In Denmark, we don't have spiritualism. We do have, but it's so new. We have spiritism. And we had some wonderful pioneers. Ejner, his name is Ejner Nielsen. You can see that tiny picture. Yes, that's Ejner. But he was into his passion for working for spirit was immense. He did trance, he did this ectoplasm, is that the word?
It is.
Yes. In Denmark he was 17 till he died in 1965, and they put him in some awful situations we couldn't believe today to prove the spirit world. Well, back to my childhood, because this was before my time. Oh, and I also have to tell you, sorry. When I grew up, you can see that. We didn't have Google, we didn't have anything, we just have what we knew around us. And if you don't speak about spirits, you just don't get any info. That's how it is. So, but still my love for the spirit world couldn't just been thrown away, or I couldn't keep silence. I remember we had some, what we call them, their father had a shop repairing bicycles, two brothers, and I liked them a lot. So yeah, and they liked me a lot. So I was very lucky. We had where I lived. We had between my home and the school there was a churchyard, graveyard, a church with a big, huge graveyard, and I loved it to going through that every day, to school and back home again. And you know, it was around, I think it was around after Christmas, I think it would be January somewhere, where, you know, I don't know if you do that, but we, in Christmas time, we put ornaments, little flower things on the graves to celebrate and say, we know you, we remember you. And some of the graves were empty. And I saw some of the flowering had been disposed of. Is that the word?
Yeah, disposed.
Yeah, thank you. And I thought, what a shame. What a shame they are still around. I know that some people say that spirits are not around graveyards, but they are. They really are. And when you come and remembering them, they are there just as quick as you can say, just a thought away. So, but some of the graves were empty. Some of the graves were filled with flowers and everything. And I thought, well, that's not good, isn't it? I think I was about 12, 13 years old. So me and the boys, I arranged and said, well, if I can arrange who is going to have a bit of flowering and just remembering them, and because that's very sad when you're not remembered. I hope I said that right. So here they go, all the two boys. I said there, and luckily, nearly every grave were filled with either disposable things or lovely things. So I went to school, lovely, came back, and my grandmother and grandfather were standing like this. What? The priest has been here. I said, ooh, and that was not very nice in those days when the priest came to your house. You know, he was a Christian priest and a very strict one. So my father said, did you put all the ornaments out in the graves as well? Did you do all this in the tombs, graveyards? And I said, yes, I did. Sorry, is that wrong? Said somebody, but my grandfather just pulled away and said, no, that's very, very, very wrong, because people like it neat and they are remembering their loved one. But what about all those who hadn't had anything on their graves? And you know, my father said, you go inside your room and stay there forever. So I thought, well. And I thought it was very unfair, because I really felt I did something good. But my grandmother came in and she said, oh Christ, Lola, why did you do that? Why did you do that? And I told her, because some of them were still around and they were not remembering, but they loved a bit of flowering or a bit of green thing on their graves, just a thought. And my grandmother said, okay, don't talk about that. I will sort it out with the priest. And she did. And everything was nice. So this was just a thing I did sometimes. Yeah, I was a bit naughty one. But anyway, I didn't know, you know, there was a guy, a loved one standing near the grave. My grandmother said, he died, he was in the family. So I said, yes, I know, he was on a motorbike. And she said, whoa. I said, yes, he's standing there. I can see him. I said, don't talk about that. Don't talk about that. So this is just telling you that spirit has been around in my world since, I don't know. I can't remember. Always. But in Denmark, the spirit is before that, before I was born, many years ago, no, not so many years ago, Spiritism was very the thing in Denmark. And we did have Spiritists churches, but they all fought. So they all had the truth. They all were better than the other. So they fight amongst themselves. And then the press, the media came in and mocked them and put big, what do you call it, songs, funny songs, about what's happening, and mock the mediums. And suddenly everything was quiet down. We do have one church, but it's a Spiritist church in Denmark. But we don't have any spiritualism churches. No. So
why is that?
because it's so new.
Yeah.
Because, as I told you, the Spiritists was very hot, very trendy, and very much in Denmark. The psychic reading, the not so much evidential mediumship. The mixing of them. Are you going to interfere? And this is fairly new, spiritualism. And we had Jack Center in the beginning, but unfortunately he had to let it go because of a big water damage. Yeah.
So I was asking that because, just to remind people, spiritualism is a recognised religion in the UK. Therefore, we can have churches. But in most of Europe, it's not a recognised religion. Therefore, you can't have a church. And it makes us realise how fortunate we are in the UK that we've got so many churches and centres available to us. And the reason they are not available in Europe is because it is not an organised and recognised religion.
Yeah, and if we want a house or a church, something like this, we have to pay ourselves. And that's just, bit too much. So all of this with the spirits were going on. And one day I met Jack. He was standing up doing mediumship, and I was thinking, oh, now we are talking. Because half of the things in Denmark are partly psychic, and partly, I have your mum here, and she's telling me here, you are a wonderful person. She loves you to bits. You have just been through a rough time, but never the evidential part, never proving that spirit, that they have a spirit, a loved one with them. So this is a new thing in Denmark, how to prove that by mediumship that you have the loved ones. So, that Jack was teaching me. So, any complaints, go to Jack, sorry. That's just how it is, isn't it? And he was talking about spiritualism. And I was thinking, yeah, and it's a religion, yes, and you're going to tell me who God is, how to pray, when to pray, how to live, how to eat, how to do everything, like any other religion. And we were sitting and debating, and I said, well, God for me is very private. He's my friend, and I say he, because it's a he for me, for me. It's very private. It's a conversation I have all the time. It's like a connection I have all the time. And maybe my God is not the same as any other God, but it's mine. It's my friend. Maybe that sounds awkward, but I hope you can relate. I'm not going to out of
Keep it moving.
And Jack said yes. And I said, but did you say yes? And he said, yes. Is that your God? Well, mine's a bit different, but yeah. So I said, but I know, I do feel that we are a part of God. When I came down here in this lovely body, some part of him he gave me. And that's how I recognized everybody else. How I tune into people is we have all a tiny part of God. And Jack said, yes. And I thought, what? Are you not going to tell me it's different? Are you not going to tell me that this is wrong, God is sitting up in his sky? Yes, if you want him to be. I thought, well, this is out of the box. I can't handle this. And then he said, well, I was thinking about that, listening to his words, and said, well, and the days went on, and he didn't go in and said, well, God says, or you have to do better because God says that. And I thought, well, maybe that's okay. So, and by that time, I was developing my mediumship. And actually, it was quite easy for me because it has been a part of me all my life. But the difference was I had to talk about them. And that was very frightening. But actually, it was quite easy. And in between that, Jack learned me more about spiritualism, and I found some peace in it. As we all know, if I ask you, every one of you, what is God for you? Like Jamie said. What is God for you? I would get so many different answers. And yes, that's God. That's God as you recognize him. And I really had to come to terms with that it was okay to free think like that. So we did. Jack pulled me very quickly up to the platform. Shame on you. And you know, proven, because that's my passion. Proving that the loved one is around you. Maybe not by lovely messages or long talks about mediumship, doing mediumship, but just if I can prove my world, your world, the spirit's world, that's my job done. So that part for me was quite easy. Then we go into the not so easy part. And that was the difference between mediumship and psychic reading. Because as I sat there in the circles, someone had my father in. My father was an alcoholic, but hey, he was a good-hearted man, and he knew he'd choose that. That was his addiction. So, and I was raised with my grandfather, so don't, things are what they are. But, you know, sometimes the media in front of me would say, oh, your dad is talking about your aura. He's talking about how beautiful your aura is, or your chakras, or something I should do. The lottery number he never came with, but anything else. And I thought, something's wrong because that's not my father. He would never do that. He would never come and tell me about my chakras or my auras or whatever I'm doing with my spiritual life. He would say, that's my girl. That's my girl. So I talked a bit with Jack and said, something is different here. Something is very wrong here. So why am I going to listen to a psychic when I want mediumship, when they have mediumship, when they have my father here? Why do I have to hear their opinion, the medium's or the psychic's opinion of me? I couldn't understand that. So that would become my horse. Yes. To prove. Does anybody of you, everybody here knows the difference between psychic reading and mediumship? Lovely. If you don't, I can tell you, psychic reading is all about you. It's all about you, what you've been doing, what you're going with your strong side, your weak side. It's a beautiful consulting. Yeah.
Mhm.
But I don't think we need that in our mediumship to prove that the loved one is around us. I really don't think. As I said, in Denmark we don't have churches. Have to do a bit. Look down here. So in Denmark we don't have churches, but Jack told me in UK, in England, they have churches for spiritualism. People come talk about this philosophy, this life, before, after, and this life. And they are proving on the platform, spirit world. The loved one is still around us. And I said, no, I don't think so. Are they? I couldn't believe this is in the 2018, I think. So it's fairly new. I didn't know.
20s.
2018?
No, the 20s.
20.
1920.
Oh, did I?
Carry on.
Carry on. Oh yeah, I do look good, right? I didn't need my credit. Yeah. No. Anyway, I didn't believe that. I didn't know that. So that's just how. I'm not going to say that.
No, you're not.
That's just how lucky you are. You really must appreciate it. You really must dive into it and join much more. Because that's something we don't have. We have Danish Spiritualist Association. Yes, I did pronounce that right. So lovely. But we don't have a church. So we are going out around Denmark, in schools, in everywhere we can, with a divine service, talks about spiritualism, and people. It is like I did in the beginning, like, oh yeah, you're going to force your God upon me. That's lovely. Yeah, just do it. Telling me how to pray, when to pray, the whole yada yada. We went to a religion day for all the religions in a gymnasium for, what was it, some month ago, can't remember, it's a bit. And we were
They all
talking.
put you through their paces, and the first one over the winning line was the right religion.
Blink.
Yeah.
Could you see that?
Carry on.
And we starting talking with them, and I said to them, we don't have the truth. We have a philosophy, but we don't have the truth. And we can't prove that God exists. We can't prove it. We believe in it. We believe in it. But what we can prove is that the soul will continue to live after this body has gone. So that's what we're doing with mediumship. That's the proof. That's one of the pillars in spiritualism. That's the thing where we prove what we believe in, what we see, and and what we feel. And they were just, oh. And I said, well, we don't get punished when we get to the other side. We do that ourselves, also in this life. We are very, very good at, I look bad, I'm a bad person, I can't forgive that, so I'm a bad person, blah, 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 blah. We do that all the time. And that's horrible, isn't it? So I said, well, we just look back when we go over to the other side. Look on our own life. So, and they were, whoa, whoa. So, and I remember Lawrence, sorry. I remember Lawrence said, we have to have more youth in the church. But we're not doing it with psychic reading or card flipping or or telling them predict their future, because they can see all that online. And if we change how we believe into just because of coddle the congregation.
Yeah, Danish. What?
If we're changing our beliefs, change our religion to serve
And to suit.
the society for their wants, then we don't have the religion.
No, we don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So for me, it's very important to divide psychic and mediumship, or else we have to. Blah, 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 blah. Which one was it?
Personal responsibility.
No, that was it. And we take away personal responsibility. There, because I'm telling you how you're going to live your life. So we take away the personal responsibility for living, because that's what it is all about. Living and enjoying life, no matter how hard it sometimes can get. But we will find a way out. God is by our side. Spirit is by our side. Sorry, getting a bit. So please don't throw it all away. Because we from the outside only have you guys to look to. Because we don't have churches. We can come in here and enjoy and be free, if you can say that. Yeah. So.
Done?
No. No. But I just want to ask, because I'm just blah, 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 blah. Any questions?
Might help if you explain what these were.
You don't know.
Don't assume people know.
It's the 7 principles.
Never assume and never say it like that.
Yes, sorry.
I was just going to say, when you talk about what is the importance of an actual church, though, surely as long as you've got a building where you can gather, does it have to be a church?
That's a good one. We don't have. I think the most important thing is to have has a building, or you can call it a church, you can call it a center, but where people can come together.
It's only a name otherwise.
Yeah, it is a name, but it. Well, I like the word church. I think it's very important. Like I know the other side of driving around Denmark, in every city, with Jack, doing a divine service, and people you're just giving them a bit of it. But if you have a house, or church, as I call it, people will come to hear. Do
Yeah, I can see that. I can understand.
It's like half and half. We are running around all Denmark. Yeah, sorry.
But you're saying you're starting. I mean, you're the beginning.
Yes.
And when you go to people,
Mhm.
then they will see, I want a bit of that.
Mhm.
It'll grow and it'll grow and it'll grow.
Yeah.
And you will get your churches and your centres eventually.
Oh, thank you.
I feel that.
I
very
really
much,
hope
because
so.
What you're saying, you're going out and giving them a taste of it.
Yes.
And you know when people get a taste, they say, oh, I'd like a bit of that.
Mhm.
So it will come.
Yeah, I really hope so.
And are you well attended when you go out and do your divine service?
Yeah, I hope so.
You're well attended when Jack and you go out.
No, that's different. There could be 5.
Okay, it's a start.
Yes, or there could be 70.
Wow.
Yeah, that depends on, which area you are, and if it's a Christmas service, or people love to attend the Christmas services, or if it's a dim. A divine service they're not sure about, because divine service sounds like, ooh,
Boring.
yes, and I'm going to have my, yeah. And we had a bit discussion about that, but we're keeping it as it is. because then again, if we change too much, it's just going to be a bit of this, a bit of that, a bit of whatever.
To suit people.
Yeah,
who are
exactly.
tonight.
And I think people really need that peace. Not to be all of, well, next time it's whatever. They need that strength. They need to find that this is a peaceful thing. And we don't have the truth. The truth is within you, you, even you, Mark. So, and that's wonderful, but it takes time. It really does take time. And the pioneers we had, oh, he's gone. The little Einar here. Sorry, I love him for pieces. You know, they were marked at. And I don't know, you know, a little story is that, you know, sometimes, I don't know how many mediums are in here, but sometimes we have to perform because you really want that. If I say something wrong, the whole thing go down the drain. So sometimes they fraud a bit. He did not. I'm very sure of that. And then the whole thing comes down. I've seen trances where they have hidden hands or something else. We all know the stories about that. That way, you know, and that's just deteriorating everything. And you, Mark, has to stand up next time and do a clean work. Do you understand what I mean? You have to do better because everybody will think, he's got something. He's coughing up something weird or
physical mediumship, yes.
yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. But yes. So please, I do love the old churches as well. The stiff old churches where you come in and have the hymn book and you know sitting like this and listening to lovely philosophy or evidence. Or the more modern church who embraces everybody and you can come freely. You have your own thoughts. You can speak freely. It's lovely. I think you need to just love it, appreciate it. Yeah.
You're speaking with the pioneer that you respect in his book.
Yeah.
But you and Jack are pioneers.
Right.
Because you
Oh.
went out and you're spreading the word of what's right for you so other people can
Oh, thank you.
collect it. So you're
I've never seen it
pioneers
that way.
too. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, thank you.
Can I go
Thank you.
back to the question about the church? Could you repeat that question, Mark?
I just said, why do you naturally need something, say, called a church, as long as it's a building where people can gather?
Every country has a religious basis, and the activity of that religious basis depends on each individual's own upkeep. If you would go to Spain, extremely Orthodox Catholic, religious holidays is intertwined into the very fabric and being of people. You know, it's inherent, it's part of the DNA. We are seeing in here, the UK, the decline of the Orthodox Church, which is unarguable, and new ways and new thoughts are coming in. But we've also got the legality side of things, so to be a registered place of worship, to entitle you to call a church, you've got to provide all the supplementing documentation about what you're actually about. I know, I understand, because this is a very, very common thing. People say to me, oh, I don't go there because it's a church. And I just go, okay, well, if you're going to deny yourself that experience, just because of whatever your basis is about that statement, that's fine. Do you know what? I am not going to chase you down the rabbit hole and start arguing with you, because you are over 21, you're grown up, and you make your own way forward. People say, oh, well, the church, they've done this, they've done that. Okay, let's start applying that to doctors. Has every doctor who's ever been an absolute pinnacle and a marvel and a wonder? No, they haven't. So do you stop going to doctors because there was a doctor once who did this? Do you stop going to dentists because, oh, there was a dentist once who did this? It is a personal thing. I invite anybody, if you want to understand the word church, it's not the building. It's the feeling, it's the sensation, and it's most importantly the people that make it. And like anywhere, it depends on the direction, the way it's run, the leadership. It will either thrive and grow and not be so orthodox. You know, if I stood here and presented every service, good morning, sit down, don't say anything, there would be nobody in. We need to move with the times. Sorry, Tony?
I just wanted to add, a little while ago, I looked up the word church, and back in the Celtic days, the word there in their language for church, I can't remember what it is now, actually means a gathering of people.
Well, we have the Celtics, well represented. Yeah.
And, you know, as Lola says, sometimes you go, you only get a few people, and sometimes you get a room full. Does it matter? Because if you touch one person, they can spread that spark, as was mentioned. And it doesn't matter whether it's called a church or a centre or a group. If we're touching one person in each service, it's just amazing because it spreads. And for me personally, the divine service, as I said, it's a personal thing. It just touches people. And when you see it touch people, you know you've done the job.
Yeah.
So thank you.
And I also have to mention, thank you, Tony. I also have to mention that as long as you're a religion, in Denmark, you can't go into some centers, they won't have you. So if you want a house, you have to pay. I have to pay for my own money. And that could be £200, and I don't have that to spare for a room of gathering. Huh? For one evening.
Yeah.
For one evening.
I was going to ask, carrying on from the churches, could you define what a religion is? Because obviously you have various philosophies and religions, so what actually, such as it being not in Denmark, but it is here, I wondered how you define what a religion is.
It depends. Are you looking at that from the legal aspect or the personal?
Kind of, yes, because in relation to what you're saying about it not being a recognised religion in Denmark.
So from the legal aspect then, you've got to have a very set and clear defined what you're about. What do you do? What do you teach? You then have to have the underpinning side of it that you do actively engage in teaching, in education, in community, in charitable works and things like that. So that's the legal, that's the stiff, you know.
And you have to, the word God, that you believe in God. That
I was
is,
going to say, is it about a worship of something?
Yes,
Whereas, say,
it is.
Buddhism, you don't worship
It is.
something, whereas it's about a point of worship, if you like.
Yeah, it's a faith base that will provide all the necessary details to enable that faith to be followed in all its observances. That's quite a technical way of saying it. On a personal basis, it's what you find. Lola was saying about God of her understanding, which is great because tomorrow that may change.
Yeah.
And the day after it can change again because it is a progressive thing.
God is actually quite a new word. It's not quite, I think it's about the 6th century.
6th century, and that's quite new, is it?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Right, okay, well don't age me then, mate.
You're very young.
But it's in the very fabric of our society, and you know, we get it here. I can talk from my personal experience. People will come through the door of this church who never go to church, got no belief, no faith, but do you know what? At the worst time of their life, they think, where can I go? I'll go to church. And we were talking the other day during the wars, there was what's called a foxhole conversion. That when you're in a foxhole and being shelled and bullets are raining down all around you, who do people call out to? Yeah. So it's an inherent part. We have that divinity, and however it expresses. And I say to people, if you come to this church and enjoy it, great. If you come to this church and you don't enjoy it, great. Find where your heart is. Absolutely. And we're taking a lot of time away from your talk, so carry on.
Yeah.
Macbeth.
Just the last thing I want you to think about. It's about mediumship. So when I just put it in here, and when I go over to the other side, home, whatever you call it, and my daughter wants to go to a medium, and I'm standing beside the medium.
Really, don't drag me into this.
Oh, I do.
I know where it's going.
Can I have anybody volunteer? So I will stand next to Lawrence, if it's Lawrence, and my daughter will say, "Oh, just show me the evidence. Just let me feel my mother again." And Lawrence would say, "I have a lady here. She doesn't speak much."
Yeah.
What?
Anyway, moving
But
on.
you are such a lovely person, aren't you? You are the best. You did a good job, and you're going to do a good job, and you're going to win the lottery. Just sell your house and spend all your money on lottery, and you will see you get more of that. I would kick his butt. Sorry. But I would get so angry. Is that respect for the spirits? Yes, it. No, it's not. I will haunt him every day and night.
Doing a good job now.
Yeah. We just have to, well, first of all, I think we have to appreciate that we acknowledge the spirit world. We are living with them. They are here. And God, you have the churches, I know, but you do have the churches, both the old school and the new school churches. Just appreciate it. And the wonderful philosophy, both the old ones and the new ones who's going to come. So evolve, but stay and support your churches. So now I will finish if anyone has any questions. I have to promise to say, I have promised Lawrence to say, you can buy ice cream out there. There's so
And now a word from our sponsor.
do you have a jingle or music
Yeah.
pieces? But thank you for listening to me.
Lovely. Thank you. I will just very quickly add, somebody said something to me a few years ago and it actually scared the bejesus out of me. Because they said, do you know what, as mediums, one day when we make our transition and go back over to the other world, everybody we've ever represented through our mediumship will be there.
A good thought.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's an incentivising thought. Lola, thank you so much. Well done. Going to have a little short break now and
Remember the
resume
ice
at
cream.
1 o'clock with the other Dane. No? Who we got?
We have the
You.
Swedes.
The Swede! Oh my god!
Frederick.
Even further north.
I have say I was a little confused when he said all the other Danish.
Yeah.
I'll leave that there. Yep.
Don't know about that.
Sorry?
Don't know about that. Ewan sitting in the back and he's going to heckle me. So which time are we booked for the restaurant?
I haven't booked yet.
Okay.
So say 7 or 7:30. Probably won't have to book tomorrow.
Not even if it's bank holiday.
Yeah.
Okay.
See you, Jan.
And Mark is going to talk as well.
Okay. It is 1 o'clock. So, great delight to welcome the wonderful Frederick, who is going to talk on the joy of spirit. Frederick, over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Lawrence. Good afternoon, everyone. It's a true honor to be part of this experience here down in Poole, and Poole itself is such a beautiful place to be in. And I have to say thank you to Lola, who brought up this mediumship in Denmark, and I have to say it's so very similar to how it is in Sweden. We don't really have any churches or centers in Sweden either. So when people asking me why I'm going to Scotland or UK to do my mediumship, I always say we don't have enough dead body in Sweden, so I have to go to UK. So, but here is everything done from the ground and from the base, and here is everything how it should be done from the base. And my topic is the joy of spirits. And people might think, what's the joy of spirits? But what if we turn around the topic and say the joy of life? Because wherever we go, whatever we're doing, we are a part of the spirit world. So every time we feel joy and happiness, the spirit world feel the same joy and happiness. And the joy to just being part of the whole experience or the God Force energy is something that you're growing into. It's nothing you just find from one day to another. You find it most of the times when you're going through difficulties or sad times in life, where we're searching for something that is bigger, something that gives our energy and our soul some energy to grow from. And the beauty of this with the spirit world is we are born into this world with 1 foot in the spirit world and 1 foot on the earth plane already. So it's not any difficulties to be part of the spirit world, because we are that already as we're walking here. The difficulty part is to understand what they want to communicate with us, what they want to say, how they want to grow, what decision we are supposed to make. But the spirit world is so very much like you and I without a physical body. They won't making the decision for you. You have to make the decision yourself, and you have to bring the joy and the happiness into your own life and do the best from the circumstances you have. The spirit world will always be joyful and happy no matter what kind of decision you make, or what partner you decide to stay with, or if you decide to divorce your partner. It doesn't matter for the spirit world, because they will support you in the best way they can. And most and foremost, we're sometimes searching for the purpose of life. And I can ask each and every one of you, what is your purpose of life? And most of us will probably not put our hand up because we don't know the purpose of life. But what if the purpose of life is just within you, just a thought away, or just exactly who you are at this moment in time? It's not what you was yesterday. It's not where you're going to be tomorrow, because tomorrow is another day and another purpose of life. As we're continuing on our journey of life, we're also changing our perspective and understanding of life. And that's, ladies and gentlemen, that's the beauty of life. Because wherever we are, wherever we go, the spirit world is just a thought away, and it doesn't matter what we're thinking of, and it doesn't matter if we go through sadness and sorrows in life. Most of the time, we're searching for something bigger, and most of the time when we're going through tragedies in life, we're searching for something bigger, something to hold on to. And when you lose someone close to you, you're searching for something to grab onto, something to have a hug, something to nurturing who you truly are. And that's, ladies and gentlemen, is most of the time when you're finding the God within you, or you realize there is something above ourselves, or we're coming across the spirit world because they made a presence in our home, and all these strange things happening, doors opened, things thrown away in the home, and we're searching for something and trying to understand what's going on in our life, and we realize we are not alone here. We are so very much a part of the spirit world as they drawing close to us. And most of the time we feel the presence of them when we're going through sadness, and we really need the support and encouragement in life. Then it's the time when we mostly feel them. But they're also so happy to share the knowledge and understanding in our daily life. And you don't need to go to a church, a place, or a center to find the spirit world, or to find the God force within you. You can go to the most sacred place for yourself, the place where you feel most comfortable, and you will find the Spirit, you will find the God, and you will find the connection within yourself and those who live close by you, because that's how everything is connected. And we are all one as we come together and looking at each and every one here. You are here for a reason. And it doesn't matter if you speak to anyone here or you're just sitting quiet in your corner. While you're looking at someone here, you will feel the true connection from each and every one here. And that's the beauty of the spirit world, because we come together here and we're singing on the same vibration of souls. And we be touched by the healing power, not by the medium who's standing here, not by the chairman who's sitting there, or the other medium who is working. You're touched by the energy and the soul power who works through the healing power in the church. And it's not one man's work. We are all part of this. And it's thanks to you that someone else feels so much better while they are in the church, because you are the important part of what's happening. And it doesn't matter what you choose to call it: spiritual healing, Reiki healing, dancing around the table healing. It doesn't matter, because the purpose is the same, and that's what the spirit world is calling. But the
It's
purpose,
spirit, but never mind.
the purpose is the same, because we are here to feel better when we're coming in, when we're leaving, as we did when we came in. And you're all part of this, and the important part of this. And the joy of the Spirit is to bring each and every one here as we are all connected with each other. And also when we're coming in here, we feel the connection with the souls, and therefore we put all the barriers on one side. We put all this protection that we're so much needing when we are out in the real world, so to say, or the other world, in the physical body. But here, we feel comfortable. We feel we are amongst friends. And as each and every one of you would tell the story of your life, each and every one of us can take something from that story to make us grow to the next time we're coming into a sacred place like this. Because we are all here, and where we are, there is also the spirit world. And the spirit world combined and connects each and every one of us. And everyone who has been touched by the spirit world in one way or another have truly, truly felt the core, the healing power, or the message who touched your soul. You will never ever forget that feeling. And when you found that feeling or felt the feeling, you will searching for more. You will be in a positive way, say, you become greedy because you want more. You want more, not for your ego, but for your soul. Because once your soul has been touched, there is no way back. I can assure you. And while we're coming in here, we are all part of everything that's happening, to bringing the joy and the happiness for someone who is not feeling well at this moment in time. And just by you being here, by your positivity of energy and the power of healing, you make the difference for someone here who is not feeling 100%, but felt the push and the power to be here because of the trust of the spirit world. So we all play a big part in what's going on. And even though with so much doubting, we come across people who are so much more happy than ourselves. We try our very best to finding the purpose, we're finding the joy of life within ourselves. And we never seem to succeed, no matter what we are doing, no matter where we are searching. And I don't have the answer for what each and every one of you should change. Only yourself has the answer. And I can tell you to 100% to where to find the answer. But you have to do it yourself. You have to do the work yourself, together with the power of the Spirit within you. And it doesn't matter how many religious books you look into, how many churches and centers you're looking into, or how many beautiful mediums as Ewan and Mark you're going and see. You won't find the answer. You will find the answer when you're sitting down and looking into yourself. Because all the answers you need within yourself is guided and written there from the spirit world and from the power of your soul. And even though we feel we should go to a medium to sort out all the mess in our life, you might be lucky, you might be happy to get the confirmation that you have a mess in your life. But I can assure you, the medium won't sort your mess out. Only you can do that, with the support and the strength and the power from the Spirit. And the spirit world, as we know, as I know, and you all know, will always be happy to share the joy that's come across. It's okay. I won't repeat what I have said. But with the emotion that's within each and every one of us, the emotion is the power of healing as well. As we go through our life, we go through different situations in life. And all of it comes together as one when we see in the end of the day. Because we are not always happy to see the less positive things in our life, because it's always painful. It's always hurting when something isn't working as we want it to work. But with the power within ourselves and the power of prayer, as that's is our cordless phone to God, that is where you will receive your answer from Spirit and the God force within you. And those who are finding the difficulties to finding the time to draw close to the Spirit world, finding the time to just bring the joy and the happy in your life. Just take a moment, close your eyes, and just send a thought out. And your loved ones, together with the Spirit world, is so close to you. And here they are, and just surrounding you with the love and the reassurance of healing that you're so much needing at this moment in time. And we all have our moments. We all have the time where we have the difficulties. We all have the time where we're sending out our prayers and thoughts to the world and to our Father God, and asking for help. And with all that we're asking for, when we received what we need, or we feel that things feels better, how many of you are sitting down and thanking God for the experience you had? Yeah, a few of us do it. And that's, for myself, is equally important to thank them, or thank the Spirit world or the God for the help I receive, the help the world receive when there is a need. Of course, there's difficulties are happening in the world, and we will not understand why things happening as it happened. But all we can do is to sending out healing power to the world. And every time we see the world actually going a little bit better, you are an equally big part of that journey as well. Because it's thanks to you, thanks to the power and the healing you sending out to the world, who makes the difference. And do not ever think that you are just one person, one soul, one spirit, because you're not. What you say, what you do, make a difference for so many people in this world. And that's the power of the healing. That's the power of the Spirit. And the joy from the Spirit world, when we feel we have succeeded, we have helped someone through the life and through the journey of their life. That's how the Spirit world share their appreciation with each and every one of us. And it doesn't matter what you're doing, as long as everything comes from the bottom of your heart and you do it for the purpose that you want something to be better in this world. And it might be that you don't understand why you're meeting all the people you are meeting and helping those people just by just being around them. One day you will have an answer, unless you're asking yourself within yourself why things happening. Because all the help you are doing, all the good things you are doing, is already written within yourself. It's all for you to open the book of your own soul, to read the story of life. I can assure you there won't be any future telling in the book, but there will be a lot of appreciation for what you have done so far in life. Even though you feel you're doubting yourself and not feeling happy, but you don't see the whole picture as the Spirit world bringing the joy of life and bringing the changes in your life for you to have a bigger understanding of what's happening, having a bigger understanding as you're growing into this life with the experience of your past. Because when you going through your life, you will be both the teacher and the student of someone else. Someone who appreciating and looking for the knowledge you have will be your student of tomorrow. The same way that you're looking for the true answer or development in your life, you will be the student of someone else. And that's how everything is connected. That's how we come together as one. And when we speak to each other, it doesn't matter what we're talking about, and it doesn't matter where we are. There's always something who gain and nourishing our soul and the power within ourselves. Without you, and I can speak for everyone here, without you being who you are, with sending out all this positivity and going forward with all the positivity that you're sending out, how would the world be? How would your neighbors be? How would your children be? Because where we are, what we are doing, is always starts with oneself. And what you are doing matter. What you are saying to people matter. Because what we do and the way we try to help and support each other is also equally important. To be as kind to yourself in this moment, because without you being kind to yourself, where are you going to start when you become kind to someone else? And it's not all about forgive other people. It's all about to grow in the best way we can with the tools and the knowledge we have, the tools and the knowledge we're gaining from all these beautiful people who are here today. Because in my journey, I would be happy to listen to your life story to see how I can grow from this moment on. Because there's a lesson for everyone to learn, and there's a joy for everyone to share with each and every one. And it doesn't matter if we don't even speak the same language, because our soul has a language for reaching all over the world with no borders. You don't need an interpreter or a translator to understand the power of the energy, because we communicate through the Spirit to the Spirit, from the Spirit, and we do it wherever we are in the world. And most and foremost, what the Spirit world wants to show us, what they wants to share, is we never die. We live on and live on and live on. Maybe not always in this world, but a part of us will live, continuing live in this world. For those of you who was listening to the beautiful trance demonstration yesterday, that was the proof directly from the spirit world that the life continues. One part of us is in the spirit world. One part of us is always walking here. And how beautiful isn't that, to know one part of myself is already in the spirit world, and I'm walking with 1 foot in the spirit, 1 foot in the spirit world, and I'm walking with 1 foot here. That means the true and the beautiful connection is already there. All I have to do is just listening, and try to keep it as calm and peaceful around me, and just listening to the whispering from my soul when it's speaking, because the whispering from my soul is the voice and the joy from the spirits. So whatever you do, don't push yourself hard, because the spirit world and our Father God is your biggest supporter in life. And it doesn't matter what you think of yourself, because you are brought into this life to be exactly who you are, and going through the challenges and having the personal responsibility in life. And without you being who you are, who would you recommend to take your place? And the journey of life, and it doesn't matter if you see your journey of life as a train journey, it doesn't matter. Because during our journey of life here, we're meeting so many different kind of people to learn how to grow and develop in life. Some people are we meeting just for the short moment, but some people will stay with us forever. And they all have one thing in common, is that our purpose is to try to treat each and every one in the same way, because no matter how challenging it is, we will all learn something from it. And you might not understand today what you learn from the terrible person you saw yesterday. But as the time goes by, you will see the red thread, and most and foremost, you will learn how not to be, how you hurt and damaged other people to be just as that person was. So all the spirit world asking from you, all the spirit world and the Father God asking of you, always be true to yourself, always be you, because you are as beauty as the light within you. And our Father God would never for any man in the world change the light within yourself, because you are here to grow. You are here to combine your light with so many other beautiful lights. And our Father God will never forget you, will never forgive you or forget you. And you have the power that you have born into this beautiful world with. And we can all make the changes in our life. And know, no matter what changes we are making, we will always be supported by the spirit world. I'm not saying you should go out and kill anyone, because the spirit world wouldn't appreciate that. But as long as you always try to do the best you can do, there's no one else who's asking more from you. And if people don't understand you or can't live with you, it's not your fault. It's their loss. Because do not ever change yourself to being as someone else wants you to be. Because you have to be you to grow and finding the end of your journey as the life continues, as you go home, and one part of us will still be here. So, ladies and gentlemen, is there any one of you who have any questions? Deadly silent. No. So, for those who are wondering what's happening, how do I bring the joy of the Spirit to my journey? Because I'm so stuck in my development. I'm so stuck, I can't really find the Spirit world. I can't see them, I can't feel them, I can't sense them. But if you're changing the way you're wording things, you open a totally new door. Because when you say you can't, you put the blockage on yourself that the spirit world would never put the block on you. So always, the wisdom from the spirit world is always visualize your success. Always visualize that you are capable of what you want to do. And even if you might not see the spirit world today, but there might be other senses who are working stronger today, and there will be another one working stronger tomorrow. Find your group of like-minded souls who make your soul singing even higher, on a higher vibration, because as the day goes by, we're needing those people who are singing on the same vibration as ourselves to grow as the person we are meant to be, because our journey changes for every step that we are taking. And there is no one to blame, because you have the personal responsibility for your own journey, and you can't blame the spirit if your marriage broken up, because that's not the spirit. The spirit is very much here, surrounding you with the support and the love and the encouragement for you to continue with our journey. And what you're not feeling that you did 100% correct today. There is a day tomorrow. There's always a day tomorrow. There's another week after this week. And there is another year after this year. And nothing needs to be done with immediately power. You can wait till you feel safe and secure to make the changes. And do not even think what I haven't done today is not worth to do tomorrow, because as God giving you so many opportunities and so many changes, what you're not feeling happy with today, you can change it tomorrow, because every day starts with a new page, with a new blank page. It's for you to write a story, and there won't be any corrections in this story, because that's your story, that's your book of your story of life, and that's the stories that you will bring with you when you go to the spirit world, because that story of life is your story of life, and that shares the joy of the spirit world as well, who have been following you through your journey of life and guiding you with the joy and the happiness in life. And for those who still don't feel the spirit world, I can assure you, just take a deep breath and just breathe, and they will breathe with you. And when you're finding yourself ready, there's always an opportunity to find a development circle group somewhere else where you can continuing with other beautiful souls, develop and grow your spirituality, and your spirituality in your way, not in the teacher's way, not in your fellow students' way, in your way, because you are master of your own mediumship. That's the way our Father God and the spirit world created you. You are the master of your life, and don't let anyone take the master degree from you. Is it making sense? Yeah. Any questions? Yes.
I was reading an article the other day about the pursuit of happiness and how really people are always pursuing happiness, and some quite desperately and some quite obsessively, and trying to have all these experiences to find actual happiness when we don't really know what happiness is, because we're trying to move away from places of sadness. So we should try to embrace wholeness instead, where we take on every single thing that comes to us and make sure that it's balanced. And I was wondering what your thoughts are on that.
Thank you very much. My thought is very much to try to see the whole picture, because it's impossible to make the changes from one day to another. You need to, in this case when we're talking about mediumship and the spirituality, try to find the gentle and the kind way within yourself to guiding you through where you want to be. And I'm very sure, because I've done the journey myself, I'm very sure as you're asking for help, you will be guided, not maybe in the way you're expecting it to be, but there will always be a way that's supporting your spirit and your soul, because we are all unique souls. We share the same interest, we share the same wantingness to work with the spiritual, wanting to be with the spiritual, but in that there is so much more. There is the whole personality of who you are and what you have gone through in life. And as you're looking into what has happened in your life and the journey of your life, you will see different journeys in that journey. And when we open up ourselves and looking into the sensitivity within ourselves, all this comes together and needs to be worked with. And we are not always the strongest to work with this on ourselves. We need help, we need guidance to go through this. And therefore, as I said, it's important to try to find honest, like-minded people who can go through this together with you, because one person is not always the strongest, and we not always see the openness in our difficulties, the openness in life. But as we're working within ourselves and taking it baby steps, we will finding that the power of healing, growing and expressing itself in a certain way. All we have to do is to embrace the opportunity and follow, even if that feels uncomfortable. This is a new step, and I'm not feeling comfortable, but it's there for a purpose. And when you're finding that you're on the right track again, then you will also see what more you need to add to the bigger picture, to finding the wholeness within your life, to finding the joy within yourself, to building up the power within yourself, to share the joy and the power with other people. And when people going through difficulties like you describe yourself, it's very often we're searching for something bigger, searching for something that make a sense in our life. And it's very often when we're coming to grieving groups, in the churches, in the centers, where we're finding like-minded people who have gone through nearly the same experience as ourselves, and we are guided and helped through physical people as well. So do not ever think your knowledge and your life journey has been wasted, because you have gone through what you have gone through because you have the strength and the power to do it. And in the end, you will find someone who helping you to go through what you feel stuck within yourself. Is this making sense? Yeah.
Can I add something to that?
No?
All right.
Yeah, of course.
No, so do. It's that phraseology, isn't it? The pursuit of happiness. So immediately when we embark upon that, we're looking for things to make us happy. Wouldn't it be time better spent looking at things that make us happy, that we've already got? And having that, there's a phrase, the attitude of gratitude. You know, we can spend our whole life chasing happiness. All right, yeah, like everybody else, win the lottery, oh yes please. It would make my life comfortable. It would make my life a bit fun. Am I necessarily going to be happy?
No.
What do you mean no? What do you mean? But this aspect of happiness, you know what? Ground zero. Look in your lives and find that happiness first. Seriously, because this world is tough at the moment, and just the little things, just the people we have in our lives, just where we live. Our little doggy, hello doggy, my pussycat. Yeah. So yeah, the pursuit of happiness. I think we need to just do the understanding of happiness.
That's like the book The Alchemist, because he travelled and he travelled and he travelled.
Yep.
And actually when he got back home he found happiness.
Yeah.
And I can't mind the author's name just now. That's him.
Thank you, Mark.
I probably did remember, but I couldn't say it. Isn't it a really good read, Mark? Yeah. Yeah.
And it's the Wizard of Oz, isn't it? She had all the power to go back all the time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's always there.
Yeah.
And I think happiness is an inside job.
It's an inside job.
You know, it's not when I get this I'll be happy.
Yeah.
When I have this person I'll be happy. When I have this job I'll finally be happy. It's actually recognising
Yeah.
what makes me happy now
Yeah.
may not be what makes you happy tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you started now, Dad?
There you go.
That's what I was going to say, actually, define happiness.
Yeah.
I said often a lot of us are searching for something, but we don't even know what we're searching for.
Exactly.
So how on earth can we look for something that we don't know what we're looking for?
Exactly.
We're looking for perspectives, other people's perspectives, and we can't. It's like our mediumship, it's subjective. I'm quite happily sat on my backside in the grass with a can of cider. Do you know what? I'm a happy bunny. Other people go, oh, how awful. Sorry, Frederick, we've
No, that's
detracted, but
fine.
we're having
That's fine.
joy while
Yep.
we're doing it.
and it's so important that you finding what brings you joy into your life, and do not compare it with anyone else, because the uniqueness within you also needs the uniqueness of joy and the happiness. Only you know the true answer. Only you know what you need to do to try to find the happiness. It might be just to sit still and listening to the guidance from the spirit world or our Father God, to finding the next step in your journey, to starting to feel the joy and the happiness in your life again. Because it's all there, but sometimes we not see it. So whatever you do, wherever you're going, always be true to yourself and never go against it, because as long as you're true to yourself, there is no one who can tell you what to do and not to do, because only you are who you are. I'll leave you with that.
Lovely. Brilliant. Thank you, Frederick.
Thank you.
We're now going to go into our extended break, so we'll meet back here at 2:30, where we have the lovely Ewan, who will be talking about the spirit within. Those of you who have pre-ordered lunches, thank you. You can collect them from the kitchen and your drinks. You're more than welcome to go through. Put the tables in the garden this year because the weather was like, will it, won't it, will it, won't it. So please go through to the garden.
Lawrence, I just felt the energy was just dropping away. I know I didn't spoke for now.
You've got an hour spot.
Okay.
You don't have to talk for the whole hour. A lot depends on people's interaction.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you.
Thank you. That was so great.
Thank you.